I know, I'm sorry, Johnny's dad, but rules are rules. If Johnny can't stop running around the pool deck,
he needs to get the f out.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, hello. So I used to be a lifeguard. I'm not anymore. It's been several years. My certification has expired. I guess you could say that I am a retired lifeguard, which I think still sounds cute. So no, I did not just buy a swimsuit that says guard on it for me to wear to a Halloween party. This is a real uniform. This is a lifeguard story time video because every year you guys request that I make a video covering my lifeguard stories. And I'm not for sure if it's because in general you guys like lifeguard stories or you like my lifeguard stories because I worked with overdramatic, extremely petty people. And for anybody new that is watching, don't worry, all of my lifeguard storytime videos are in a playlist and linked down below. This video will include a lifeguard Q&A, so stick around to the end. Okay, we got this, let's go. So much different than the intro you guys saw, and I don't know, I just figured I'm just gonna be real with you guys. Like, I know, like, crying lifeguard here, you know, but I'm having such a hard time filming anymore, and I don't know why. Like, if I'm just putting so much pressure on myself, or like the weather's getting warmer so I'm getting hotter under the ring light, but it's like nothing has been good enough, and it's so embarrassing that I keep refilming. This is like the 20th time me trying to tell the story, and I enjoy telling the story, and so I don't know why I'm having such a hard time lately. It's during the quarantine, and so I think, you know, some people, they experience anxiety and they know what it is because it feels like anxiety, it looks like anxiety, like they know they're having anxiety. And I feel like with me, like what I get is I put like enormous pressure on myself, and I get so obsessed with other things as a distraction during this time. That is just, that I guess is just really affecting me. And I know maybe it's crazy to include this in the video, but this is exactly how I'm feeling during this quarantine. So like, if you are too, it's okay. But oh my gosh, I want to have fun telling this video. I love my lifeguard stories, but I can't be looking like this. You guys will be feeling too bad for me. So let me cry it out, and I'm gonna come back. Okay, I'm back. I feel like I look the same. I just had like a really good, intense, hard cry. It just stinks because my skin is so sensitive. It's just gonna stay red for a bit. But wow, I just feel better. Like, and I'll probably still cry like tonight, but I'm good enough. And I actually am like, okay, I cried it out. I'm excited. Let's talk about this lifeguard story time and ignore the awkwardness of me crying. So, yeah, so a little bit of a background was that I got my lifeguard career started at a YMCA, and you know, that's kind of like a community thing. You got a lot of different personalities, and the YMCA actually hosted the lifeguard certification course. Is that weird? Hosted? They hosted it. I don't know. They sometimes brought snacks in, like they hosted it. Like, and then about like 90% of the class graduated, and then the YMCA actually recruited about 90% of the graduating class. And then the other ones usually went on to another YMCA because, you know, they're under the YMCA certification. So it was kind of neat because then when I started my first day at the job, I actually knew some people, and the YMCA is where a lot of my lifeguard storytime videos come from because that was the first time that I like was actually brought out of my comfort zone. I was finally talking to boys. I met Kayleen, who was really social. Little did she know she was going to introduce me to my future boyfriend. And he is not my boyfriend anymore, but like he was. And then there were just like other girls. No, I'm just kidding. Like I actually did make friends with some of them, but some of them I butted heads with, and I've talked about that before. That's just how girls are. The weird thing is the majority of these lifeguards came from a private school, which again, like, isn't that weird? Because you would think that they would be more inclined to like work at a country club or something, or like maybe something more fancier, upscale, different neighborhood. But no, like they were at a YMCA and it wasn't fancy at all. I'm trying to think, like we had a lot of lifeguards, like 50 to 65 of them on the roster. Because we had a pool at an apartment complex for like underprivileged kids where we gave free swimming lessons. And then like at the YMCA location itself, we had an indoor pool, a kiddie pool, and an outdoor pool. So the only time us lifeguards were all together was during in-service, because that's mandatory. It was like once a week, and I remember like we like flooded the outdoor pool, but like we were all there at once. But like during the normal operation hours, like lifeguards are coming and going, we have different schedules. So contrary to popular belief, us lifeguards do not just show up with a fanny pack and like that's it. Like we all have stuff, you know, like the dudes always have like these big duffel bags. Like I don't know what they carry in it, because whenever they walk somewhere else, like they never have a purse on them. They just have like their pocket with like their keys, their phone, their wallet, and that's it. We couldn't use the locker room. That was for the members. So we had to put them in the guard offices. Now, like we had a big outdoor guard office, and that was kind of cut off from the public. The indoor one though, like just because it had windows doesn't mean we could see every angle of it. So like when you think about it, like lifeguards, our boss, like other members of the YMCA, they really could have taken advantage of that. Like the door was wide open. It was like right off of a hallway from the locker room, but that's another story. But like when you think about it, like that was a bad setup. So then, I don't know how it happened, but somebody reported that some cash was missing, and everyone just assumed like they'd find it on the ground later. Some guest took it, like find it at the front desk maybe. Nobody thought anything of it. But then it kept happening again and again and again. And it got to be kind of weird, like to a point where our boss was telling us at in-service to stop putting cash in our duffel bags. And I don't know, it was just kind of weird. It's like, well, who's stealing this stuff? Like, where are the cameras? And then through the rumor mill, people were telling me it was Carlos. And Carlos had always been so nice to me, and I felt like they were isolating him because one, he was Mexican, and two, he was an adult. He was beyond his high school years. And maybe three, he had like a scary piercing right here. Like, you know, private school kids, we don't have that, you know? And I just felt like they were jumping to conclusions, like they just wanted to, like, and I knew he was a bit standoffish and he didn't respect or appreciate a lot of the private school teenagers that were there. But I also felt like maybe he had a right to, because they weren't really, talking that nicely about him. I didn't really like that. And then all of a sudden, Carlos went away. To be honest, I didn't really notice, but like that's not my fault. I had all of these crushes to keep track of and to make sure like I knew where that cute boy was and that cute boy was, and was he on my rotation? I didn't notice. Like 2 weeks gone by, and then like I asked, and then somebody had to tell me that he was the stealing lifeguard and he got fired. Right away, I was kind of mad, but I was like trying to keep it in, but I was like, how would we know that? Like, that was obviously such an assumption. We don't have cameras here. Like, we didn't catch anybody. Like, how would I not know this? Like, oh my God, like, did we just falsely fire somebody? No, he was right. Apparently the big boss planted a camera and caught him in the act. So I was like, oh. But I will say that I had $20 in my bag, and because I was nice to him, he did not steal from me. So maybe that's a life lesson. Okay, well, that's the story. I don't know if there's like a moral to it. I guess just because he didn't steal from me, it just proves that you should be nice to everybody, and the bad people might reward you. But like, this is just for entertainment purposes. I'm telling you what actually happened from my perspective, of course. It is time to answer your questions. Now, this will not be my only Lifeguard Q&A video, so like if you come up with another question, just write it out in the comments down below. Try to like keep it like as a comment to this video, so it's really easy for me to find the question later. If I could choose my own lifeguard hat to wear, what would it be? 100% not the bucket hat. Like, I remember one year we were given them, and I looked at it and I was like, oh, ew, like it didn't look good on me, okay? Like I would probably do a visor because I'm actually like a really dark blonde, but I am blonde. So when I'm out in the sun enough, my hair gets all light, and a visor would be perfect for that. Did I ever have to give mouth to mouth? Well, actually, they don't do that anymore. I think they never really did it that much to begin with. It was more something they did in the movies. But now you're supposed to take universal precautions where you assume everybody can contract everything to you. So you actually have a mask you put on them, and it has like a splash guard. So like if they were to cough up water or like have like germ droplets or whatever, it can't go through the valve. And I guess I should show you sometime. I just don't know where mine is. Did anyone try to drown like in the movie The Sandlot? And for those of you who did not see The Sandlot, there are these boys swimming and they all have a crush on this lifeguard. She's so hot. She's got like the red lipstick. And so the boy pretends to drown. So she rescues him, gives him mouth to mouth, and then he tries to go on like a full-on makeout session. First off, that would not fly in today's world because it's all about consent, and I support that. I would be though, like personally, so mad because my adrenaline would be pumping just to realize somebody was messing with me and wasting my time. Like, to me, not respecting my job and my time is like the hugest insult. I'd probably get so mad I would whack them. But in general, like if you pretended to drown, you could be permanently banned from the YMCA. I never had to do that, but you better believe I would. Did I ever falsely activate an emergency rescue because the person only looked like they were drowning? No. I actually did not, and I don't think I was ever on duty when another lifeguard did. There had been times when I've like zoned in on somebody and like I stood up and like I was like just like on my whistle about to, but like that's a big deal to blow your whistle, get like all eyes on you and clear the pool. Like, and of course then you're like calling 911. It's a big deal. And don't get me wrong, like you need to act on impulse, and the YMCA would always respect the lifeguard's decision. Like they would not shame you, and like that is the best type of pool to work for. It's hard though because like there's people who play and like swim around and then they're really still in the water and they're not trying to pretend they're drowning or anything. Like they don't understand how scary it looks from a lifeguard's perspective. Or like an outdoor pool has a heavy glare. You have some people doing deep breathing techniques. One deep breathing technique was actually like staying at the wall, like holding your breath, and like swimmers would do this. And we actually banned that kind of behavior. Like you couldn't do that. But like there's other things you could do, and they're just as scary to watch somebody do. And like you have no idea too, like if someone's pretending to drown because you're getting audited, like that's a whole nother thing. Speaking of audits, somebody wanted to know what my audits were like. Scary? So I heard. So like I actually was off duty, and the one time we had like a city audit that was taking place in the outdoor pool, I was working the indoor pool. And then I would go to in-service and enjoy the pool. It was like a pool / pizza party we would have. And one time we went bowling, and then like I got everybody in trouble because I was drinking. That's another story time video. What was my scariest moment? Well, like I think people are assuming like there was like a drowning or like a near drowning or something, and that wasn't the case because we had so many pool rules. Like the YMCA pool wasn't fun. Like it was literally so many rules. Okay, so this easily could have been avoided. So like the big boss did the dummy drops, but like he didn't live there. Like he wasn't there 24/7. So sometimes the supervisors would do it. And I love and respected my big boss at the YMCA, but let me tell you, he was terrible at picking out supervisors. So like I've had like issues in the past with some of them, but the majority of the reason why I really didn't like his supervisor picks were they were boys that were my age or younger. And we all know boys mature a lot slower than girls do. And so when they were left alone, they weren't that professional. So I'm watching the kiddie pool, and all of a sudden, like this big bird flies over me and crashes into the pool. And it takes me a second to like register it. But one of the supervisors literally whipped the dummy up over this railing, over my head, into a kiddie pool that had kids in it. He is so lucky it did not hit a kid. Those dummies are extremely heavy. And it takes me a second to register it because, like, realistically, if a kid is gonna drown, he's not gonna fall from the sky. It literally spooked me. What was the most common issue at the pool? Running. Always running. And sometimes adults running. And you gotta yell at them too. Did I have to wear red or blue swimsuits? Red. Always red. So one girl wrote to me and she kind of wanted to know, like, how do you make a swimsuit look good? Because, you know, like, it's so skin tight, you know, and it reveals so much. Like, how do you make it cute and, like, work with your body? And I don't know, I would kind of need to think about it, and I feel like that's a separate video. So if you girls want me to do that, like, I totally can. You just have to let me know in the comments. Did I ever sneak into the pool? No. I was a goody two-shoes, and, like, nobody else wanted to lose their job. We had a fabulous job. Like, come on, like, if you were a teenager, where would you want to work? Like, as a lifeguard, it's considered a hot job. You're tan, like, come on, like, we knew we had a good gig going. Any funny or embarrassing stories? Yes, a lot of them. Look at my playlist. Will I ever post an updated what's in my lifeguard bag / what's in my fanny pack video? And that's a hard one. That's kind of like up to you guys, because although I am a retired lifeguard, I definitely focus more on product reviews, like what's the best sunscreen, what's the best sunglasses, like, so I think I still could make a good quality video. But do you want to hear from a retired lifeguard? Like, I don't really know. Okay, so my knees are on fire because I've been on them the entire time. But there's your video. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to join the Lifeguard Fam Bam, and I will see you in the next video. Love you, mean it. Bye, guys.